Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron. I hope you're having an incredible day or night in Jesus. We're looking on the Trinity's compatibility with monotheism. And so we've already got started on this, and a lot depends on the definition of the Trinity. And let's just get started. We're in plato.stanford.edu. So there's not a trinity of independent principles, however, but only one principle or fountain of Godhead, the Father, from which the others, namely the Son and Holy Spirit, are derived. Now, to me, and that's what, is that J. Dyer believes that the Father's the fountain of the Godhead. Well, see, to me, you've got inherent subordinationism. You don't have co-equality and all this. And so I would say that that is not really classical Trinitarianism in a sense. And it's not, when I'm not a classical Trinitarian, and it's not compatible with monotheism. Because they're derived, they're derivatives of something, so how can they be equal? They together constitute one entity, the entire divinity, but you're in a pantheon then. As the root and the stock and the branches constitute one tree, or the sun, the light, and the splendor undivided and form one thing, but now that's all Sabellian or modalistic understandings. Indeed, there is so near a conjunction between the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit as can be found nowhere else in nature. This is Cudworth writing in the 1600s. The relations between them are necessary and eternal. They are indivisibly and inseparably united. Moreover, each person inheres or indwells in the others. That's known as circumcision. Perichoresis in Greek, circumcision is Latin, or interpenetration of persons in the Godhead. And they are all ad extra one and the same God, jointly concurring in all the same actions, they being all one creator. And now I'm just going to say, to me, that strikes of insipid tritheism. On the surface, the argument from sovereignty, if God is sovereign, if there's three sovereigns, is that monotheism, appears to preclude the Platonic Trinity. Plato's Trinity, from Timaeus. For on Cudworth's view, the wills of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit are necessarily concurrent. For example, the Father wills that the Son entails, the Son wills that the Spirit, and vice versa, because the creative volition of any member of the Trinity entails that the other two will the same thing. If any one of them wills the existence of a contingent being, then they all will it. So if their concurrent willings are causally sufficient condition of the existence of contingent beings, then the Father's or the Son's or the Holy Spirit's willing the existence of contingent beings is itself a causally sufficient condition of the existence of contingent beings, since it entails the concurrent willing. Now, I did want to say, too, like in the Bible, when Jesus praying and all this, almost universally, Trinitarians have looked at that as humanity, and other people have different views of God other than the Trinity, which would be me, among many others, maybe most, or a lot anyhow, that's the humanity of Jesus. It has nothing to do with two wills and the Godhead and all of this kind of stuff. Apollinarianism and all this, Macedonianism. Of course, the creative volition of any member of the Trinity is also a necessary causal condition of the existence of contingent beings. It would seem then that there are three creative volitions, each of which is causally sufficient, causally necessary condition for the existence of contingent beings. Thus, there are three sovereign creative wills. And this appears to contradict the monotheistic claim that sovereignty is necessarily unique. So, if you've got three creative wills in God, that seems to be inherently at odds with monotheism. And so, looking at God's divine sovereignty, and when I say I'm more, reading a little bit of Barth and stuff like this, like he didn't believe in the existence of covenants before the foundation of the world, and infralapsarianism and supralapsarianism and all this, that he I would just not see that. And I would say God did predestine certain groups, but you still have the free will of man. I know MacArthur deals with that some. You know what? We're going to stop there and save this for another time, because we're going to look at God's sovereignty in a different way on whether this is monotheistic. So basically, to this point, we've seen certain conceptions of the Trinity, maybe most conceptions of the Trinity, would not, in many ways, be consistent with monotheism. So God bless. Talk with you later. Bye-bye.